G. Kishan Reddy. Honorable Minister of Law and Justice and Minister of State for Culture and Parliamentary Affairs, Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal. Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs and Culture, Srimati Meenakshi Lekhi. We have seated on the dais Chair, the Culture Working Group of India's G20 Presidency and Secretary, Ministry of Culture, Government of India, Shri Govind Mohan. Co-Chair, the Culture Working Group of India's G20 Presidency and Joint Secretary, Ministry of Culture, Government of India, Srimati Lily Pandey. We have gracing the dais Shri Nagaraj Naidu, Joint Secretary G20. Shri K.K. Basa, Director General, Archaeological Survey of India. We are also joined by Shri Gurmeet Chawla, Assistant Director General, Archaeological Survey of India. And Shri K.K. Yadav, Postmaster General Varanasi, is going to be joining us very shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we extend a very warm welcome to Excellencies, distinguished delegates, to the Culture Ministers meeting under India's G20 presidency in Varanasi, the oldest living city in the world, a significant center of civilization for over 3,000 years, a city that reflects India's vibrant cultural legacy. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, we have reached the culmination of the fruitful working group meetings in Khajuraho, Bhubaneswar, Hampi, and Varanasi, and now we unite for the pivotal Culture Ministers meeting. We shall commence the day with a video statement from the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Namaskar. Welcome to Varanasi, also known as Kashi. I'm delighted that we are meeting in Varanasi, which happens to be my parliamentary constituency. Kashi is not just the world's oldest living city. Not far from here is Sarnath, where Lord Buddha delivered his first sermon. Kashi is said to be a city of Sugyan, Dharma, or Satya Rashi, a treasure chest of knowledge, duty, and truth. It is indeed the cultural and spiritual capital of India. I hope you have kept some time in your program to watch the Ganga Aarti, to visit Sarnath, and sample the delicacies of Kashi. Excellencies, culture has an inherent potential to unite. It enables us to understand diverse backgrounds and perspectives. And therefore, your work holds immense significance for entire humanity. We in India are very proud of our eternal and diverse culture. We also attach great value to our intangible cultural heritage. We have been working hard to preserve and revitalize our heritage sites. We have mapped our cultural assets and artists not just at the national level, but also at the level of all villages in India. We are also building several centers to celebrate our culture. Prime among them are the tribal museums in different parts of the country. These museums will showcase the vibrant culture of India's tribal communities. In New Delhi, we have the Prime Minister's Museum. This is one of its kind effort which showcases India's democratic heritage. We are also building the Yuge Yugin Bharat National Museum. Once completed, it will stand as the world's largest museum. It will showcase India's history and culture spanning over 5,000 years. Excellencies, the issue of restitution of cultural property is an important one, and I welcome your efforts in this regard. After all, tangible heritage is not only of material value, it is also the history and identity of a nation. Everyone has the right to access and enjoy their cultural heritage. Since 2014, India has brought back hundreds of such artifacts that showcase the glory of our ancient civilization. I also commend your efforts towards living heritage as well as your contribution to culture for life. After all, cultural heritage is not just what is cast in stone. It is also the traditions, customs, and festivals that are handed down the generations. I am confident that your efforts will foster sustainable practice and lifestyles. Excellencies, we believe that heritage is a vital asset for economic growth and diversification. This is accord in our mantra, Vikas bhi, Virasat bhi, development as well as heritage. India takes pride in its 2,000 years old craft heritage with nearly 3,000 unique arts and crafts. Our One District, One Product initiative showcases the uniqueness of Indian crafts while fostering self-reliance. Your efforts towards promoting cultural and creative industries hold profound significance. This will facilitate inclusive economic development and support creativity and innovation. In the coming month, India is going to roll out the PM Vishwakarma Yojana with an initial outlay of $1.8 billion. It will create an ecosystem of support for traditional artisans. It will enable them to flourish in their crafts and contribute to preservation of India's rich cultural heritage. Friends, technology is an important ally in celebrating culture. In India, we have National Digital District Repository. It is helping to rediscover the stories of our freedom struggle. We are using technology to ensure better preservation of our cultural landmarks. We are also using technology to make our cultural places more tourist-friendly. Excellencies, I am glad that your group has launched the Culture Unites All campaign. It encapsulates the spirit of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future. I also commend the pivotal role you are playing in to shape a G20 action plan with tangible outcomes. Your work reflects the importance of the four C's: culture, creativity, commerce, and collaboration. It will enable us to harness the power of culture to build a compassionate, inclusive, and peaceful future. I wish you all a very productive and successful meeting. Thank you.
We thank the Honorable Prime Minister of India for his video statement. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege to request Shri G. Kishan Reddy, Union Minister for Tourism, Culture and Development of Northeast Region, to please render the welcome remarks. Sir.
Good morning. Namaskar. Respected culture ministers of G20 member nations and guest nations, respected representatives of international organizations, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. I am filled with immense pleasure and pride to welcome to India for this Culture Ministers meeting under India's G20 presidency here in this beautiful city of Varanasi. As one of the world's oldest continuously living cities, Varanasi stands as a testament to India's rich cultural heritage. Being the spiritual heart of the India and a cultural capital of India, Varanasi is a symbol of our nation's rich cultural heritage. Our nation's dating back several thousands of years as a eternal city of the Ganga, Varanasi captures the confluence of culture, arts, traditions, making it fitting backdrop for this meeting. Honorable Prime Minister of Sri Narendra Modi ji, elected representative from Varanasi as a parliament member from this area. Dear Excellencies, in a world rich with diversity, our shared cultural heritage is the thread that binds to all. It allows us to acknowledge and respect our differences while celebrating humanity. Culture is much more than a geographic or social differentiator. It is the unique and vibrant expressions, our experiences, comprising the customs, values, languages, and arts that define us. Friends, the discussions and deliberations that have taken place as a part of culture working group meetings and the global thematic webinars on the priorities articulated by India's G20 presidency have been both remarkable and inspiring. Each of these priorities is a piece of the larger puzzle, one that forms a picture where cultural heritage is both a pillar of the past and the pathway to the future. We have progressed from identifying and deliberating the four priorities to advance towards the action-oriented outcomes that would be a significant step in placing culture at the heart of global policy making. The journey, which has been inclusive and collaborative, has brought us to this pivotal moment in our timeline, the Culture Minister meeting. Excellencies, in 2020, under Saudi Arabia's presidency, the G20 recognized cultural integral role, especially when the pandemic revealed the sector's weakness. The following year, Italy championed the cause, leading to the historic Rome Declaration at the inaugural G20 Culture Ministers meeting, emphasizing culture's crucial role in sustainable development and climate change solutions. Indonesia took this agenda forward in 2022 with the Bali Leaders Declaration, which reformed the significance of culture as an enabler and driver of sustainable development. Today, we commit to nurturing and expanding this vision, recognizing the transformative power of culture. The discussions and deliberations that have taken place as a part of the Culture Working Group meeting and the global thematic webinars on priorities articulated by India's G20 presidency have been both remarkable and inspiring. Our work, however, would not have reached this point without invaluable contributions from the esteemed G20 member nations. All nations' useful insights, comments, and feedback have greatly enriched our shared dialogue. In drafting the Culture Minister Declaration, the Culture Working Group carefully considered the insight and feedback from member building on what we achieved in the Rome and Bali declarations. Under India's presidency, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, we have tried to capture not just the letter, but most importantly, the spirit of our collective vision. Through our combined wisdom and shared, we can transform the challenges that lie before us into opportunities for cultural progress globally. Today, we are equally proud to launch the report consolidating the best practices as the insights from global thematic webinars titled G20 Culture, Shaping the Global Narrative for Inclusive Growth. Friends, in an initiative of the Indian presidency, the global thematic webinars have truly raised the bar for subsequent G20 dialogue on culture, emphasizing a systematic inclusive process, experts-driven perspectives. These webinars have demonstrated the immense potential of knowledge building in harnessing the role of the culture for sustainable development. This discussion highlighted the value of continuational engagement in enriching our shared understanding. Moreover, they laid down a clear path for embedding culture within the G20 framework. This resonates deeply with the core mandate of the G20 as a distinguished platform for global cooperation. The report, therefore, stands as a pivotal achievement of G20 presidency. As we gather today, let us remember the power of our shared culture legacy. Let it guide our decisions and actions as we move forward. In our proceedings today, I urge you all to remember the huge potential that culture holds towards the sustainability. I am confident that our collective strength and wisdom will carry us forward towards our common goals. We have the ability to make culture a strong pillar of a mutual understanding, promoting international collaboration and harmony. This is how it brings us closer in its unique way. weaving an intricate web of humanity and shaping a society that more inclusive, forward-thinking, and rich, diverse. Before I conclude, I would like to express once again my deepest appreciation to each and every one of you for your commitment and dedication. Together, let us shape the world we envision, which is rooted in respect, nurtured by diversity, and thriving in unity. Let us collective efforts pave the way for a future there, and culture is not just a part of our identity, but a driving force for sustainable development, social inclusion, and global harmony. Friends, I once again welcome to India from all the G20 country delegates. Thank you. Jai Hind.